Hi everyone, and welcome to the Chat and Vibe series for the upcoming Vitality Festival, which is starting on October the 31st. We have got 9 incredible days planned of inspiration, education and motivation. We've got 70 world-leading presenters all there to support you and encourage you and give you really practical tools that you can use moving forward coming out of the COVID cocoon. We would love you to join, and I've included a link at the bottom of this YouTube so that you can just click on there and sign up, and you get access to absolutely everything for free. And one of those amazing speakers is Jennifer Annette, who's joining us here today. Hi Jennifer, how are you?
Hi Tanya, so well. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here. We would love to get to know you a little bit better. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got involved in the joy space?
So I suppose it all really began actually after the birth of my son, so 12 years ago. And I found myself with a really big case of seriosity. So concerned about being the perfect mother and just heaping anxiety on myself around all the ways that I wanted to show up in the world. And I forgot how to have fun. And I forgot about the things that were pleasurable for me. I forgot about myself actually in the process. So it prompted me to go and find some ways that I could bring more laughter into my life, and hence my journey with laughter yoga. I started attending a laughter club myself when my son was about 18 months old, and then went overseas for a while and let it go, and then came back, and he was around 4 by that time. And so we started going together. We started attending a laughter club every Monday night together. And then we were traveling quite a distance to do that. So I thought, why not? I'll go train to become a laughter leader myself. And I really wanted to call in families. He was at school by this stage. And so, that sort of started my journey into laughter. And I suppose important for me to talk about what laughter yoga is and what it's not. So laughter yoga is not laughing. It's not fake laughter, and it's not forcing yourself to laugh. So the way that I lead laughter yoga is that it's basically just an invitation into joyful exhaling. So it's allowing our breath to guide us into the laughter, and it's accessing that inner smile, and it's bringing a laughter mindset to everything that we do. So it's about seeing the good in life. It's about bringing intentionality into the joyful parts of life. And yeah, I found it an excellent way. I've met an amazing community of fellow laughter yogis sort of from around the world. And also every Wednesday I run a local community laughter club, which we've been able to continue through COVID over Zoom. We meet every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. And that's just to come as you are for 30 minutes for some intentional laughter. So laughing on purpose. And I guide you into exercises around that. It's about connecting in with your inner child and getting playful and just allowing the lighter side of life just to inform you every day. I'm an NLP practitioner, and I believe that if you shift your state, you can change your life. And I believe in using my physiology as being the best way to shift my state. So when I put my body into a state of laughter, my mind follows, and everything gets easier. Everything becomes more joyful and more fun. So that sort of began my journey with laughter yoga. And then as time went on and my son got a bit older, I started to think more into the pleasure piece, like where in my life was I allowing pleasure in? Like where was I slowing down enough to allow the more pleasurable side of life to be a part of my everyday experience? And so that's when I discovered Koya, which is a beautiful practice. It's an embodied movement practice. So it's basically movement with meaning. And it, again, very similar to laughter yoga, it takes us home to our body. So it's a body-mind practice where we use music and we use movement to access the wisdom that lives within our own body. And it was a practice that was primarily created for women. So Rochelle Sheik, the founder in the States, she created the practice for women to reconnect them into their essence and to reconnect them into their essence of being wise, wild, and free. And so all the pillars of Koya focus on these three essences. So wise draws on the wisdom of yoga. So we don't practice traditional yoga in a Koya class, but we take the spirit of yoga, we take the wisdom of yoga, and we flow with that through movement. The wild, the creative expression that's available to us through dance. So we do a little bit of choreo dance together just because there's so much fun in moving together. And we also free dance. So you get to access that wisdom within your body. And then the free draws on the expression of ourselves, particularly as women, through sensual movement and the ways that we're able to access that sense of freedom through our own body. So yeah, so that's been my journey. And then Koya has led me into deeper practices around pleasure. So I follow the work of Regina Thomashower also from the States, who is very much a pioneer, was a pioneer in New York with the School of the Womanly Arts, where she guides women through particular tools and practices back to their bodies and back to the power that lives within our bodies. And for us to step out of the pity party and out of the victim roles and take radical ownership for ourselves in the way that we show up for ourselves and in the way that we relate to others and even in the way that we relate to the earth. So that's led me into an amazing collaboration with a woman, Nicola Belcher, and we now run a weekly book club with a difference where we guide women over a 9-week journey through Regina's tools. And and we're deepening our work into that as well. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey. And NLP, and so neuro-linguistic programming, and the timeline therapy that I now coach in complement all of those practices. And I guide people through what I call a Reclaim Your Pleasure Self program. So yeah, that's where I am today and loving life.
Wow, fantastic. You're doing some incredible things. I think that's great. And go back, I mean, there's so many different parts of what you just said. We have to visit all of them.
Yes.
But first of all, let's chat about the laughter, because I think, you know, especially with to do with the Vitality Festival and all the people that are coming along, you know, we're all offering to serve these people who are some people are not in such a great space, not laughing too much all the time. You know, what would you say to somebody who finds it difficult to laugh? You know, there are some people I know, like myself, I love laughing. You know, any opportunity is great. But then I've got friends and people I know who are quite serious. You know, people who are in challenging circumstances, who are not feeling necessarily happy, who have lost their jobs. You know, how would somebody like that be able to come to a class and then start laughing?
So I suppose it sort of speaks to the quote that I shared with you recently from the founder of Laughter Yoga, Dr. Madan Kataria, where he says that laughter is not going to dissolve your problem. It won't solve your problems, but it can certainly help to dissolve them. So it's a trust in the process. I think with anything, for me, it's about a trust in the process. And if you're able to trust in the process of intentional laughter, so it's about allowing you may not feel like laughing, and that's sometimes the best time to engage in it. And I think it goes back to what I said earlier about being able to shift our state. And so we can use our bodies, and we can use our breath. Our heads don't even need to be in a space where we feel like laughing. It's just about creating a cocktail of feel-good hormones in our body. And we can do that just through the breath and the sound. And so we'll imitate laughter sounds. So we might start with a ho or a ha or a he sound. And we'll do that with our exhale. And before you know it, when you do that on a screen with a screen full of people, or, you know, when we were able to be in person together, it's amazing when we make eye contact with other people. We activate those mirror neurons that sit in our brain, and the energy flows between us. And before we know it, the sounds have turned into real. They've turned into real and contagious laughter. And I think it's about acknowledging that you, like I said earlier too, it's not forcing yourself. It's really just giving in to the own processes of your body.
And I think, I mean, I know for myself that when you're around people who are laughing, when you're around people who are positive, just by submerging yourself into that sort of energy, or like you said just now, just even that mirroring. I mean, you know, if there's a room full of people, whether that's virtually or actually around you, that it's laughing, it's hard not to start laughing yourself, isn't it? It's
completely.
It's really something that we, instead of looking at COVID being contagious, we want to think about laughter and happiness and that joyful state, and really, you know, being able to feed off one another.
Yes. Oh, completely. And we get such an amazing cocktail of feel-good chemicals course through our bodies when we do that. We call it our dose, and we receive dopamine, which is our body's reward hormone, which is amazing. We get oxytocin, which is what a mother produces when, say, she's breastfeeding a child, or when we experience an orgasm. We get serotonin, which is our body's natural antidepressant. And we also get endorphins, which are our body's natural painkillers. And so just by putting your breath, by focusing your breath through these sounds and then allowing it to flow into contagious laughter, you're making your own cocktail of wellness for yourself. And that's available to you at any time. You know, our laughter club, which meets every Wednesday night, many of the members actually meet up for a 10-minute audio Zoom call every morning as well. And, you know, you can just have it on while you're preparing breakfast. And it's the sound of other people's laughter, even without seeing them, you know, just the sound alone, you can't help but join in. So,
it's so good. And I think what you said, it is a dose of wellness right there. And it's just a way of leveling up your energy, improving the performance of all the systems inside your body. I know it increases the way that the cells perform and the mitochondria. It's just so important.
It is important.
Yeah. So anyone who's watching, you can, Jennifer's going to be doing a class on laughing for well-being at the Vitality Festival. And really, it is such a great thing to do, to just spend an hour or half an hour just laughing and giggling and being around positive people, and, you know, just mirroring how they are. So, you know, can't recommend that enough. I'm really excited for that.
Yes,
I just want to pivot a little bit, because I just love the sound of Koya. I'm a yoga teacher myself and have been teaching for quite some time. But you were the first person who told me about this, Koya, and I find it really interesting because I haven't heard about it. And, you know, just the whole aspect of the wise, the wild and the free, you know, it just, that really speaks to me. Tell me a little bit about, you know, somebody's coming along to your workshop at the festival for Koya. You know, what is some of the things they might need to, what they would expect to experience?
So the thing I love about Koya is that it's available to absolutely everybody. So there's no levels, there's no beginners, intermediate, advanced. You move as you feel called to move. And there's absolutely no way you can do it wrong. And the way you know you're doing it right is that it feels good for you. And even better than feeling good, it feels true. It's like when you hear a child laugh, or it's like when you stand and watch a sunset. Koya kind of taps into those sensations and those feelings in our body. Or when you have a chat with a friend that you haven't seen for a while and you walk away just knowing that everything's going to be okay. That's what Koya taps you back into. So it's the kinds of things that people would experience is really gentle movement to start with whilst we warm our bodies up. So we circle our bodies. We circle our bodies in really gentle ways. And that's sort of in the recognition that our bodies are over 70% water and the earth is over 70% water. And when we move in those beautiful fluid and feminine ways, we connect ourselves into that essence. And we would open our hearts. So physically and metaphorically and energetically, we physically open the front of our hearts, and then we'll round down and open out the back of our hearts. What else will we do? We shake. So shaking is a modality. So during Koya, we actually physically shake from our feet all the way up to our heads, through our arms, and all the way back and down again in a full body shake. And that's for people to experience physically the transformation that's available through moving your body and shifting your state in that way. So we shake off whatever no longer serves us. We shake off other people's projections. We just shake it all off. And I've been giving a bit of thought to the workshop that I'll bring to Vitality. And it's, I think, we'll do a little bit of fun choreo together where, we may dance as though we're dancing within a box, because so much of our life is staying within the box that we've been allocated. So we'll really feel into the edges of that box. And then with the crescendo of the music, which kind of pumps us up, we'll experience what it's like to step outside the box, what it's like to stomp on the box, to squash the box, or perhaps to step in and out of the box when we need to. It just gives us a physical remembering of those sensations within our own body that then transmute, transfer, become possible in our minds. And it just creates freedom in our experience. It creates freedom in our expression. And then we free dance. And then we always have a theme for the class. And then at the end of the class, we dance into that theme. We dance into the recognition of what it feels like in our bodies when we're living that. So we act as if we are that already. And we get to go out into the world with the embodied sense of that as if. So, yeah, it's a beautiful practice.
It sounds delicious.
It is delicious.
There's so much to gain out of that. And it's a really, it's a physical experience. It sounds like it's an emotional and mental transformation as well. It sounds absolutely divine. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer, for having a chat with us today. I can't wait to do both your workshops. And I can't recommend, if anybody who's watching needs a little bit of a lift, you need to shake some things off in your body, or you want to up level your energy and your vibe by having a good laugh, look Jennifer up on our schedule. I've got a link below, so you can just click on that. We'd love to see you. Don't worry if you can't attend all of the sessions over the 9 days. At the end, you'll get access to everything, the recording, and you can do it at your own leisure, and you can watch them time and time again. Yay. So thank you again, Jennifer. It was a pleasure to have you on, and I look forward to coming to your sessions at the Vitality Festival.
Yeah, exciting. Best of luck with everything, and big love to everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.